Hi, my name is Valkyrie. This is my presentation about using the PSA to create my website. First of all, what is PSA? I'd never heard of it either. PSA is the acronym for Problem Solving Approach. It outlines a pretty cool process you can use to help improve the quality of your documentation or any other type of communication for that matter. The problem solving approach gives you guidelines you can follow to plan, produce, and deliver great documentation. I use the PSA to create a website as a resource for other technical writers who are looking for information about how to navigate being a writer in an extreme development environment, also known as XP. This is my homepage. PSA has parts: plan, research, draft, review, and distribute. Every one of these steps plays a critical role in the PSA, and if you use them, it increases your chances of producing quality documentation. Do the steps have to happen in that order? I don't know what the experts would say, but I don't do it precisely in this order. I started with the foundation of the PSA and tweaked it to find the process that worked for me. My first step is to visualize. Maybe this does fall within the planning phase of the PSA, but I consider it more of a pre-planning phase because I'm starting with only one thing, an idea. And with that initial idea, I don't have a lot defined. Defining is part of planning. I do that later. When I was thinking about my website, I already knew that I wanted it to be about writing in an XP development environment, so I delved deep into researching the subject of extreme programming and technical writing in an agile, collaborative environment. Since research is my favorite thing, my challenge at this stage is to resist exploring all of the tentacles that radiate out from the main idea. I have to remind myself to focus, or I end up in a mode of endless researching. My mind really does look like this octopus while I'm researching. While I'm doing my research, I write everything down. It's a free-flowing thought process, and it helps me to form my first draft, and it helps me organize my thoughts. The categories and the flow of the information start to become clear to me only after I've already written something down. It's like a puzzle. I start by dumping all of the pieces out of the box. My initial idea is like the picture on the box that I can look at as a reference for all of my pieces of information so that I can start sorting those pieces into categories. Researching and having an initial rough draft helps me identify my audience and understand who I'm trying to get my information to. It helps me define the problem that I'm trying to solve. It also helps me come up with these high-level categories that I can dump information into. So at this point, I start to work on my first organized draft. The next step is the dreaded review cycle. This is part of the PSA, and in my opinion, it is one of the most critical pieces of the PSA. It's true that peer reviews can be intimidating. You might feel like someone is punching your baby in the face. Trust me, I did not begin my career eager to face peer reviews. It took me a while to learn to be objective about them. If someone says, "Hey, your baby might look really cute with a pink bow," it's not the same as saying, "Your baby is all wrong, put it back and start over." Peer reviews are a form of collaboration. Think of reviews in terms of communication and suggestions, not criticism. Once I incorporated all of the helpful suggestions from my awesome reviewers and put the finishing touches on my final draft, I was ready to go live and share my information with the world. In this case, thanks to modern technology, all I had to do was click the publish button. How easy is that? And then all I had to do was share the link to my website on Facebook, Twitter, and the ASU discussion board. Using PSA taught me important lessons about myself as a writer and also about effective communication. Using the PSA helped me to understand my own writing process better, which in turn helped me to see my strengths and weaknesses. Effective communication is not about having the most words, it's about using only the words that are necessary to get the point across. Staying concise and focused is very difficult for me. Having the PSA as a reference helped me keep my writing lean. Soliciting feedback as part of the PSA really helped me improve my communication. So, was the PSA effective in helping me create my website? I would have to say yes. Having guidelines, even if you don't follow them explicitly, is so helpful. It's like having a quality checklist. If you follow all of the steps, not necessarily perfectly or in order, improving the quality of your documentation is unavoidable.